Welcome to today's video. Today is part 4 in our daily behaviors to establish your leadership identity. This one goes back to a common thread about accountability, but more specifically, it revolves around taking responsibility for your actions without blaming others, without pointing fingers, just simply owning your mistakes, owning a blown assignment or something more serious. Recently, I had something where I actually had to deal with a bullying issue on a bus. And for athletes, especially high school and above, this kind of stuff is very serious. But luckily, this wasn't an egregious bullying incident, but bullying nonetheless, and picking on a teammate, and not something that I would ever accept, and certainly not something that is becoming of a leader. So when I had to bring this up to my team, I simply said, I don't want to know from others who did it. I want to know from the person who did it to take responsibility for what they did. The next day, we had the player come in. He told me, fessed up to the whole thing. We had a good long conversation. A lot of that conversation revolved around the severity that bullying can have, and it can be something that can be very damaging to people's mental health, and certainly something that you as leaders have to watch out for, and certainly would never expect from you yourself. But nonetheless, this guy did it, and he owned it, and there was no finger pointing or why he did it, or explanation or blame on others. It was simply he did it. He wasn't really sure why, and I think he saw the error of his ways, and when he really got a chance to think about it. The problem was he didn't think to begin with, and that can run us all into trouble in any part of life. But that's the thing when it comes to taking responsibility. Good leaders take responsibility and they don't look to others. Even if it wasn't 100% their fault, great leaders will kind of internalize it and see what part of the blame or what responsibility, what portion of it is theirs. And they're not going to worry about other people's. They're going to take that on for themselves. You can't fix everything on your own, and not to say that everything as a leader is your fault. But as a true leader, the buck kind of stops with you. It starts and stops with you. That's part of the cost of leadership. And so whether it's, again, a blown assignment on the field or something more serious off the field, throughout your life, you're going to have to learn to take responsibility and not look to point fingers. And this is a real differentiator between great leaders and everybody else. So as always, if I can help you in any way to develop your leadership identity, I have a link down here in the description. We can work one-to-one. I've also created this playlist where we continue with our daily habits series for identifying your leadership identity. So check out those other videos. We'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.